I've got a mini pit style reel that's got 40-pound braid on. I like to use braid, I prefer to use braid. It's a much lower diameter, much higher strength, which means it's going to create a lot less tow in the water. And it also means that if I get snagged up, I can get things back. Okay, I'm not leaving a baited trace in the water. Now, that runs down to a run ring. This is a running rig. And I've got a feeder on there, which is a 4-ounce feeder. I like to use quite heavy feeders, especially if there's a little bit more extra water on, I can hold the flow better. I was fishing with a gripper lead this morning, but I decided because of the clarity of the water and how coloured it is, I've switched to a feeder because I want to pack that full of dead chopped fish, which is going to give me an extra scent trail. It's going to provide a hell of a lot more attraction than just a standard bait on its own and a lead. Now, before I get down to my trace, I always leave, you've probably got about, I don't know, 10-12 inches of coated braid there, strong coated braid, same strength as my main line. And that's just as a sort of like a semi-stiff boom. You could use like a really thick, strong fluorocarbon there. It's just to give a bit of extra separation from my bait to the feeder. Rather than using 2-foot, 3-footer trace, I'll just use that extra bit of coated braid there, save wasting wire. Now, talking about trace, I tie my traces up a little bit differently to what most people probably do. I actually only tie the bottom 3 inches with the hooks on, and then it's attached to a swivel. Because 9 times out of 10, when you tie, let's say you tie a 2-foot rig up, an 18-inch rig up, what happens when you get snagged up? You blunt a hook, you might snap a hook off, the end of your trace can get a bit kinked after you've been playing a fish or you've been caught in a snag, and it's generally the last 3 to 4 inches, isn't it? So what I tend to do is I tie them up like that, because if I bend open a hook, if I break one off, if it gets kinked anywhere down here, anything generally I'm not happy with, I can just unclip that and clip it back onto my up trace. So this is just a trace that I've tied, probably 15 inches long. It's just got a clip on the end. Very rarely do I have to change this. Very rarely do I have to change this at all. So I'm not replacing it with another 2-footer wire, which if it's kinked or if I've got hooks on it which are no good, you're probably going to cut off the bits that are okay, and then you're going to discard the wire. So this